Hey guys, it's me, Letitia, Sew Adventurous, and today I am going to be making some dress towels. And so what I have here is the pattern that I created. It's got a front and a back. If they go together, it kind of looks like this, where you can see that the back is a little bit higher than the front. And so I have them cut out. When they're sewn together, it's going to look more like this. But this is a pattern I kind of created based on another pattern that I saw on Pinterest or something. And so I need 2 of each of these patterns. And then when I cut them out, I'm going to sew them together, right sides together like this, each one of them. And then when I have them together sitting like this, I'm going to have one pattern right side up, and then I'm going to put another pattern right side down. I'm going to sew around this circle, and I'm going to stuff one of the patterns on the inside, and then they will be wrong sides together, and you will be able to see the right side on this, and if I were to turn it over, you would see the right side of the other pattern. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to be cutting out this pattern here, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces of the front and 2 pieces of the back, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I have gone ahead and cut out these 2 pattern pieces that I'm getting ready now to sew them together. And the curve that's a little bit deeper is the front of the pattern, and the one that's not as deep is going to be the back. So when the shirt, if you will, is together, I'm going to sew these across the shoulder area right here. Sew it like that across there, and then I'm going to do that for both pieces, and then I'm going to be sewing them once I've got the shoulders sewn together. I'm going to be putting them together like this, as I mentioned before. I'm going to sew around this, and then I'm going to be tucking this piece or the other piece, whichever, it doesn't make a difference, inside to that hole. So I'll be back after I've sewn these shoulders together. Okay, so I have my front and my back sewn together, and I'm going to now place the 2 pieces right side together, and you want to make sure that you have the shallow one on the shallow one. So I'm going to place them down like this. Okay, I'm going to open my seams there, and I'm going to sew around the circle. And when I sew around the circle, I will come back and I will flip the one side into the other so that we have them wrong sides together. Okay, so this is what I have so far, and I will be back once I have this sewn around the circle. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed my 2 pieces together. They are attached at the neck hole, as you can see. And I went ahead and nested these seams, and what that means is that I have one seam going up and one seam going down. And I did that on both sides instead of just trying to open them. It just made things easier. So now I'm going to take one of the sides, and I'm going to tuck it into the hole. I'm going to push it through this hole here. And what's going to happen is that we're now going to have both sides, the right sides will be out. So we can see both right sides, and the wrong sides are going to be together. Okay? And so what I'm going to, before actually I do that, I skipped a step, y'all. Don't be mad. I'm going to push that back through. Because what you want to do is you want that circle to be laying flat. And the way you get this circular nice hole to lay flat is you're going to make some clips. Just some very slight clips, some very slight slits into this. You don't want to go over your seams. You just want to kind of cut close to them. And what that does is it gives the fabric the ability to spread out and lay flat in this circle. So I'm going to do some real small clips here, and that should make it lie flatter when I push it through this go round. So I'm just going around the entire circle. Again, you don't want to cut into your stitches. You want to just cut toward him, but not across them. Okay, So let's try that again, and push that through that hole. Okay. And this is the first time I have actually seen these dress towels, and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to give it a go. So there we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this over to my iron and get it a nice flat iron so that it can look good. As you can see, this is now looking like this, and see if we were to actually flatten it out, it would look like a little top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a towel and I'm going to add it through there, but I'm getting ahead of myself now. So let me go iron this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and pressed it, and this is what we're looking like so far. So now what I need to do is I'm going to do a type of a burrito roll to seam up the sides. And I saw this and I'm hoping that I get it correct. So bear with me if I do not. Because on some of the tutorials they had suggested that you tuck them in and so on and so forth, and then stitch up the sides. And so what I'm going to do is we are gonna sew them right sides together. It's going to be something like this, where we're going to be doing it this way, and it's going to be right sides together. I don't think I've got it right, but I think that's the way it's going to be. I want to make sure let's see here. You know, it's not like this. It's got to be these two sides have to be right sides together. I'm pretty certain of that. I'm pretty certain that if I roll this way, oh wait, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay this flat. You're gonna take these two sides, you're gonna fold them up so that they are right sides together, and you're gonna kind of pull this out. Okay, and you want to make sure that you always have these two sides of the top together. So I'm going to do a little pinnage here, and that's going to help guide me. And I am going to end up pulling some of this out. It's going to look a little crazy, and that's okay, as long as you can kind of keep track of that you are what you're working on. Okay, so I'm going to match up the little shoulder bits here. Of this, it's gonna look crazy, but crazy is kind of what you're going for on this. Okay, and you're gonna find these two parts here. We're gonna match up the shoulders right here, and again I'm probably just going to nest these to this area right here. And I know that it looks kind of crazy right now, but once I've got it sewn together, it will look amazing. And we've got the arm and then the shoulder area right here. And the bottom matches up here. And that one's kind of bent up. Make sure I get this area. And I want to make sure that I'm only sewing on the edge. I don't want to sew what's on the inside of this little nested area. Okay. And so we're going to sew along this edge. And once I sew it, I'm going to flip it out and you're going to see exactly how this should look. Like I said, I know it looks a little crazy, but trust me, it's going to look gorgeous. Okay, so I've gone ahead and sewn down this side, like I said, and I'm going to pull everything out, and this should be all complete. Oops. Okay. So we've got this side sewn down, as you can see. Make sure we push those seams out. Again, I know it looks kind of crazy, but I'm going to iron that flat. And it'll look wonderful. And let me just give you an idea. See how it looks. This is the little armhole. And so I'm going to do that very same thing. And then I'm going to give it a good press. I'm going to pull it out. And I'm going to give it a good press. And when I come back, you should have the finished. So once again, let me show you on this side. What we're doing is we're taking the corners, we're flipping it up so that it's right sides together, right here, and then you're going to kind of pull that out, and pinning it is actually going to be the most helpful so that you can keep it the way that you are supposed to have it. Oh my goodness, my pins are all bent up. Be having wild parties with these pins. And if you just follow your little shirt, and you may be tugging and pulling and everything, but again, you're trying to just get it to go the right way. But we've already been through that pin. Again, I'm going to nest the seams, and you want to make sure the seams are going in the same direction as you are nesting them in line R. Okay, and come on this side. Continue on with this arm, little armhole. This is going to be so cute when it's done. I don't know why I have not ever seen dress towels before, but these are going to be great gifts that you can give or to family members. These are good as housewarming gifts, and I do know some people that are actually moving into some houses, so this could be a gift for that. But these first couple that I'm making, of course, they're always testers, because if they look crazy, they're going to hang on my oven, and they can look crazy hanging on my oven. So again, what I'm going to do after I finish getting this all pinned together is I'm going to stitch along this whole edge right here, and then I'm going to turn it inside out or pull it out, and I might come back on camera and show you pulling it out. And then once I get it all pulled out, I'm going to give it a nice press, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed up the second side, as you can see. Okay, and now I'm going to pull it out, and everybody's fingers crossed that this came out the way it's supposed to. Tell ya, it's always stressful trying new projects, but also always worth it. Oh, look at that. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so let's push out those seams so that it's making the shape we are intending for it to make. All right, which is a nice little armhole. So look at that. So I'm going to go give it a press, and when we come back, we'll continue on. Look at that. That's so cute. could not have told me before that I could do something like that, but look at that. And so if you're wondering how this works, once this is all said and done, there's going to be a towel that's going to be tucked into here, and you're going to hang it on your oven door, kind of like that. Like imagine this is the handle that you use to open up your oven, and so you can hang it on like that. What I wish I had done, and I had thought about it, I'll have to do it on future projects, but is putting a little hook right here. When I place them right sides together and I sew around the hole, I'll have a little loop right here. That way, if people don't want to hang it on their oven, they just want to use it as a decorative item, they could just hang it from the hoop on a wall in their kitchen, or you know, what have you. But I didn't do that on this one, but that would be a really nice thing. So I'm going to give this a press, and then I'm going to show you how we finish this off. Pretty much, I'm just going to be doing a tuck in here like that, and then I'm going to be getting a towel that I'm going to cut in half, and this is a kitchen towel, cut it in half, and then I'm going to be pleating it, and I'm going to stick it in there and sew that down. And I'm also going to be doing this. Now, there's been a lot of different ways that I've seen people finish off this, how to, you know, secure it to there. Some have got some ties that they put on the sides. Some have got snaps that they add right here. I've seen one that I thought was, you know, kind of inexpensive, and, you know, it's up to you what you decide, where they just put a little piece of Velcro right there, and so that when it's hanging on the oven handle, it's Velcroed, and so it's not going to be, you know, coming off of that. It won't be pulled off. It'll just be Velcroed, and which I like that Velcro way. I know there are a lot of people who are not a fan of Velcro, and that's, again, that's, you know, your choice. You decide how you want to do that. Let me go ahead and iron this, and I'll be back. Okay, so here is the towel that I am going to put on here, and as you can see, the towel is pretty significantly larger than the little opening here. So what you would have to do is pleat it. And so you're going to pleat and pleat, you know, so that it is fitting. And there's no exact science to the pleats. You just kind of do it until you're satisfied with the final result, and that it does in fact work into the this little crevice here. Okay. There we go. And so that is how that would look. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew down the pleats just so I can have a little basting stitch to make sure that my pleats stay. And then once that I've got that basting stitch, then I'm going to go ahead and do a stitch right there. And then, I mean, for the most part, this little dress towel is complete, except for, you know, adding whatever snaps or closures. Now I can take the other half and I can tuck it into this side if you want it to be, you know, a towel on either side. This one I'm just going to do a front. Again, this is my tester towel, dress towel, and I think that one side is going to be plenty. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this down, my pleats, so that when I insert it here, I don't have to worry about them coming undone while they're inside this right here. And since I'm going to have only a towel on the front half, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this down. What I did was I tucked in the raw edge of this back part of the dress shirt or top or what have you. I'm going to stitch this down. I pressed it so that the fold would stay on the inside, and I did the same thing for the front. So I'm going to go ahead and make those stitches, and I will be right back. Alright, and here is the finished product, my dress, towel dress if you will. And I'm gonna put probably some Velcro on there. I will get a picture of it hanging from the oven. But let me see here if I can show it to you guys. Here she is. And you know, you can embellish this with lace or beads or ribbons and different things just to make it look really cute. So when you're sewing this portion here, the where you're sewing the towel into the inside of the pocket here, you want to definitely lengthen your stitch length and go slow, because this is a lot of layers, especially if you're using a domestic machine. I am using just a regular Brother quilting machine, and it took a little bit, but I got it on there. I went slow and I lengthened my stitch length to like a 3.5 so that it would be able to handle all the different layers. But I am very pleased with this final result. I will probably make another one or two or 5. And if you have any questions about this and you want to give this a try, let me know. Leave a like and a comment. Subscribe to my channel, Sew Adventurous. Share everywhere. Share it everywhere so that everybody can see this. And, you know, maybe somebody else is feeling so adventurous. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.